carved through the Eiffel Mountains like a ribbon of tarmacked insanity. This isn't just a racetrack, it's a 13-mile monument to fear, speed and legend. The Nürburgring Nordschleife, a place where egos go to die and racers go to feel alive. 73 corners, some named after the brave and others after the broken. Over 300 metres of elevation change, blind crests, unforgiving curbs and surface that changes personality every lap. It doesn't care about your setup, it doesn't care if you're tired, it just waits, quietly, to punish the overconfident and embarrass the unprepared. So naturally, I decided to take it on twice in 24 hours. No rests, no strategy, just one exhausted sim racer and two very different challenges. One was a war of endurance. The other, a focused, calculated push for a podium that demanded every ounce of racecraft I had left. It wasn't planned. I'd just finished 4 hours of the Nürburgring Endurance Championship the night before, and somehow we won. No script, no drama, just a relentless drive to the finish, but instead of giving my rig a well-earned rest, I queued up again the very next day. Same track, different layout, a new race, and thankfully not as long, but this time no teammate, no strategy calls, just me alone in the car. Something in me, maybe pride, maybe madness, wanted to go back for more. Somehow I started this race in 4th. I didn't qualify, I just loaded in, sat back and let iRacing's chaos algorithm sort it out. But I wasn't about to argue. 4th out of 28, that's front row seats to the apocalypse. 3 laps of the green hell. My plan, as always, was very simple. Survive lap 1, then start thinking about heroics later. But that means striking a very specific balance. Drive stable and smooth on the cold tyres, but not too stable, or I'll lose the slipstream to the car in 3rd and be left for dead when the Nürburgring straight shows up like a debt collector, and it's time to pay for every mistake from the previous sector. Then we hit that hill, the one I can't pronounce. That high-speed kink where gravity gives up and half the grid forgets how physics works. Coming over the top, the front 6 cars are running too wide with me sandwiched dead in the middle. Over 100 miles an hour, nowhere to go. And we're all diving into one of the most brutal blind corners on the circuit. But we survived that circus, and honestly, this is what sim racing should always feel like. Tight, respectful, aggressive, real sim racing, not survival horror. The field was snaking through the Nordschleife like we were all sharing one brain cell and a common goal. Survive lap 1 so we can send it on lap 2. The only problem? I was stuck behind a slightly slower car. Every 10th I spent tucked in behind him was another 10th the leader was using to disappear into the trees. But then we hit the Karussell. The guy ahead gets over-eager, too much throttle, too much angle, and the rear snaps. He hits the inside curb and nearly flips the M2 onto its roof. Meanwhile, I jump out of the banking like we're trying to land a trick at the X Games, carve around the chaos and drop back in like I'd just unlocked the Nürburgring half-pipe DLC. Just like that, I'm in 3rd, podium position. Now it's all about the draft. I had to reel in the car ahead before the straight, otherwise I'd never be close enough to fight. And just as importantly, I needed to drop the guy behind. No free tow for him. This isn't a charity drive. Unfortunately, by the time we hit the straight, I wasn't quite close enough to catch a slipstream from the guy in front. But thankfully, the guy behind wasn't close enough either. At the end of lap 1, sitting in third, big gap to second, but I've got the rhythm now, and it's not over yet. 2 more laps to go. This time, I'm feeling a little more confident. Maybe too confident. Because for absolutely no reason at all, I clip the grass on the outside and immediately the car goes full exorcist. Instant oversteer. The wheel rips out of my hands and I get launched across the track like I've just been handed a voucher for 18 holes at the Nürburgring Country Club. I'm in the rough, in the weeds. I'm halfway to the green. All I'm missing is a caddy and a questionable hat. And to make it worse, I somehow engaged the pit limiter mid-slide because the force feedback decided now was the perfect time to reenact a bar fight. But somehow, I survive. No wall, no spin, and no position lost. Don't ask me how, even I don't understand what physics allowed that to happen. After that near-death grass adventure, the rest of the lap was quiet. No drama, no battles, just me and the guy in second. I was reeling him in. Not dramatically, not heroically, but inch by inch. And I realised I was okay with that. After a 4-hour endurance the day before, I wasn't even supposed to be fast right now. I was supposed to be horizontal on a sofa somewhere, whispering to myself about brake bias and existential fatigue. But instead, I was here. In third place, focused, calm, and kind of loving it. So I just kept ticking off sectors, watching that gap shrink. Not aggressively, but deliberately. Because sometimes racing isn't about chaos or glory, it's about keeping your head, staying smooth, and waiting for your moment. Last lap, and I'm within a stone's throw of second. Every corner I'm inching closer. Half a tenth here, a quarter there. Just slow, calculated pressure, because at this point I'm not trying to force a mistake, I'm trying to earn one. And the closer I get, the more I realise this might come down to the straight. If I'm still in his mirrors by the time we hit Dotting Ahoy, I'm not just overtaking, there's no defending that kind of draft. He'll be handing me second place on a platter with a bow on top. So I'm focused, every apex, every braking zone, edge closer, don't overdrive, don't bin it now. And then we hit Muck Curve. He runs just a little too deep out onto the runoff. And like any sleep-deprived sim goblin with a podium on the line, I take the opening. I sweep through into second place. Except, something doesn't feel right. I start to wonder whether that was really a mistake or maybe it was strategic. He's probably seen the same thing I have. He knows he can't catch first. He knows I've been closing the gap for the last 2 laps, and now? He knows if he lets me through here, he's got the slipstream all the way down the final straight. So now it's war. I've got one job. Drop him. I've got maybe 3 minutes of track left to break the toe, open a gap and make sure he never gets the draft. I get my head down. It's not about style now, it's about raw pace. I don't even know where the energy's coming from. Every sector, push. Every corner, nail it. Because when we hit that long stretch of German anxiety, I don't want him anywhere near me. We hit the straight. I check the delta. It's not much, but it's enough. He's got the slip. I can see the gap shrinking slowly, a few meters every second, and my brain screaming, "Don't you dare lift. Don't you dare get caught." I brace, eyes flickering between the finish line and the mirror. Last few seconds, he's coming. I can hear the engine, feel the draft, but Thankfully, it's not enough. I crossed the line, P2, unexpected, but certainly welcomed. Now, about that endurance race the day before. 4 hours at the Nordschleife again, no prep, no practice. I did try and stream it, but the IT gods had other plans. Force feedback cut out, the mic looped into some kind of demonic remix of my own voice, and HDR, yeah, turned the whole screen into a radioactive oil painting. Originally I wasn't even going to mention the race. I didn't have a script, no fancy edit, but considering what happened, it kinda deserves a shout out. We survived the chaos, drove smart, stayed clean, and somehow we won our class. My average time for this race was faster than my fastest lap time in the last endurance. With no practice, don't ask me how, I must have been doing laps in my dreams the night before or something. And if that wasn't surreal enough, for the first time ever I ran into a subscriber mid-race. Razvan nearly killed me, and then somehow saved me. Still not sure how we both survived that, but cheers for that. What a moment. It was one of those races where everything should have gone wrong, but somehow everything just fell into place. So, no full video this time, but honestly, one of my favourite wins yet. And a big shout out to Brian for jumping back into the fire with me. If you haven't seen our original Nürburgring Endurance video, give it a watch. Still one of my favourite videos on this channel. So, 2 races, 2 formats, 1 weekend I probably should have been spent lying flat on a sofa resting my back and questioning my life choices, but instead I came out of it with a class win, a sprint podium, and a whole new level of confidence behind the wheel. From here, I'm not sure what comes next. I've been absolutely loving the M2 lately. Honestly, if it weren't for content variety, I'd probably stay in it for the rest of the season, but I think it might be time to change things up a little bit. I've got GT4s on my shortlist, TCR, maybe even the Clio Cup if I can find a race with more than 3 people in it. But I'm very interested to know what you would jump in next. Let me know down below, and if you've got a series you think I'd love, drop it in the comments also. I read every single one of them. Thank you for watching, and a huge thank you to every single person that subscribed already. You're absolute legends. I'll see you in the next one.